Right there yesterday around 10:30, we had wind gusts of around 92 miles per hour in Columbus. Yeah, that is heavy winds. You see that with tornadoes, and with that, that's when cars start to get flipped. Here's a list of all the wind reports we saw close to the metro area yesterday. You can see all of those, every single one of those red little circles right there are a report of having some kind of damage from storms within the winds specifically. A lot of this is tree damage, but as well as power lines and multiple other things. We had some really strong winds yesterday from all of those storms, but thankfully we're looking a little bit better out there right now. Satellite and radar looking like a big white blanket of clouds out there. You see a little bit of activity down to our southwest, but it's mainly from a storm that we're seeing kind of push over closer to the Cincinnati, Dayton area. Thankfully, we were tracking this earlier this week, and it looked like it possibly had a chance of coming through central Ohio, but right now most of those winds are shifting it towards our western areas, which is really good for us, especially with the amount of rainfall we saw yesterday. We don't need any more rain today, but we are looking like we possibly might have some a little later. Lots of clouds earlier this morning, highs right around the low 80s today. As we get into later this evening, 5, 6 o'clock, we do have a chance of seeing another round of storms push in. Nothing like yesterday's storms at all, but we are still keeping an eye on it, especially after having all that flooding yesterday. Here's your hour by hour. For the most part, this model is showing around 6 p.m. we're possibly having another line of storms start to move in the area. This is an exact timing, and it's not an exact pinpoint location of, hey, these areas will see storms right here, right around 6 p.m., but we are expecting another round of rain later this afternoon. You'll have a clear out overnight and then possibly some more lingering showers Thursday morning. Here's the big picture. This is that SPC outlook where right now you're seeing that level 1 out of 5 risk for southwest Ohio. That's that green category, saying, hey, we might have a chance of seeing some stronger to severe storms later this afternoon, but it's just a level 1 out of 5. In context, yesterday we were in that level 3 out of 5, and that's when we had all of those damage reports. We'll see a couple waves of storms roll in. That will continue over into Thursday as well. By the time we get into Friday, we just have some lingering afternoon activity, and that continues into Saturday. We are on the end of this severe weather trend. Excessive rainfall outlook, this is also saying, hey, we have the chance of seeing some flash flooding later this afternoon, especially if that big storm I just showed you goes over areas that have already seen some heavier rains and a lot of the areas under that flood watch today. So we are keeping an eye on that for you. 7-day forecast, 81 degrees today. By the time we get later this afternoon, it'll be hot and it'll be muggy, but you will have some dry time later this afternoon. As we get into Thursday, afternoon showers continue, and that trend continues into Friday and Saturday. Sunday kind of trending a little bit more wet in the afternoon, but Monday's looking nice and dry by the time we get back into the lower 80s rather.